Yeah, I was like, yeah, you
And
know
it's
what,
so
that is.
fun because, like, when people say Alicia, I'm like, what did I do? Like, nobody calls me that.
You hear her name, you think you're in trouble.
Yeah, like, oh wait, I wasn't listening.
uh,
What happened?
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, it wasn't me. I promise, it wasn't me.
Right. Exactly. I don't know
So
why I didn't say that before. But it was the P/L that you sent that like sparked it in my mind. I was like, I really like that.
yeah.
Something is like not clicking for me, but I think that's a really good idea. I like it.
Word. Okay. Well, I'll revise and then boom, boom, send it back. Been busy all morning. Oh, my bad. We got to do the intro first. Welcome back to what present with Paulizè and Lisha. At the present moment, it's present. Paulizè and Lisha. I'm
What's
Paulizè.
the present?
Oh, and Lisha. My bad.
Leash. Yeah. Little Leisha.
Lisha.
That's
I'm
what people are.
Paulizè,
I'm Little
and
Leisha.
we're back. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since
Yeah.
we've done these. One of
Yeah.
these live. Yeah. How you say that again?
I said, yeah, it's been a while since we've done this. We actually talk, I think, fairly often.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
feels like we've done this, but it's like, no, that's just us talking.
Like it's funny because it's like after you've done these for a certain period of time, people will start to think like, oh shit, they don't fill out, something doesn't happen.
Oh, right. Oh,
People
they're not doing it anymore. Ha! We back. Psych.
facts, surprise. We just had to come back and we're better.
Yeah. Facts. Exactly.
Big facts. How's the last 2 weeks been for you?
Oh, man. I don't want to talk too long about it, but it's just been really great. Like, so many moments where I can see divine timing, synchronicities, like everything just leading to really great moments where I just make it all just starts to make sense. Like the things that I
Mm.
can do. Like a lot of the blessings are like rolling in, and I'm honestly like trying to like catch my breath and just like sit in the gratitude as they come, but like I feel like it just doesn't stop. And that's great. Like I'm enjoying the waves of life for sure. Um
Mm.
Man, met some amazing people, made some amazing connections. Wow. My website is done. I mean, not
Yes.
done, but like I'm still working on it, but it's published. Like it's out there now. Like it's a thing. So I'm so
Okay.
excited. I know. Plans for
That's it.
Invest Fest are coming together. I found a friend who's already gonna go, and so I was just like, "Can I join you?" So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm so
Okay.
excited. I'm so excited.
I'm telling you, that is going to be exciting. I'm telling you, InvestFest is going to be so exciting. I'm excited to get in the room.
Me too. Okay, so I think it's gonna be like rooms. Like you get to choose. Like there's gonna be certain people in certain rooms, and you get to pick like which rooms you want to go in. That's what my friend said. How it was last year. So I was like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
that makes sense because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, like,
It's a lot of people. So
sheesh. So I guess you pick your category and just be like, okay, that's my category, that's my room. So let's
yeah,
go in there.
I guess so.
Huh,
Which makes sense.
interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So that way the conversation is
yeah,
more tailored to what you want to hear.
yeah. That
Okay.
that does make sense because that's like a lot of information to take in. You
Exactly.
know, that's lit. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun weekend. It's gonna be great. But that's
It's coming
awesome.
fast too.
It is. Golly,
Far is gone.
time is time is just timing right now.
Time is timing. Literally.
Time is just timing. It's just doing its own thing right now. I swear, it's like it's just moving, and it's still, in some days it's like it feels like it's moving slow, and then
Mhm.
other days it's just moving really, really fast. Like today, it just seems like it's just steady.
It has been pretty steady. The past week for me was kind of slow, but before that, the days are like zooming by.
Mm.
Like we're getting to Friday like really fast.
Facts,
Coming quick.
facts. It's like it's already Monday. The next thing you know, it's like, damn, it's Friday already.
I know.
Like,
No, literally, literally. How
facts,
about you?
facts.
How have your past 2 weeks been? I didn't give any specifics.
Whew.
Very general.
Yeah, I mean, we get the gist of it though.
Mm-hmm.
They get the gist of it. But I mean, my last 2 weeks honestly have been very insightful, I'd say.
Yeah.
A lot of life lessons as always.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest lesson that I did learn from it is being uncomfortable, or being willing to be uncomfortable for a while, so the rest of your life looks how you picture it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we recently got some new neighbors, and been talking to them frequent. They're really cool guy. And we was having a conversation, and it's just funny how you don't realize things until somebody on the outside's looking in.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just chatting, having a conversation. He was explaining what he did. I was explaining to him what we did. And he was just like, you know, giving us our props, because he was like, that's amazing. That's impressive. Because I was telling him all the business ventures I have going on with this, the podcast, drop shipping, and the course and stuff like that. And he was just like surprised and impressed, because it's like you don't see a lot of young people doing what it is that we do. And I don't know, maybe it just struck me as like, well, it wasn't really a surprise to me. Maybe it's because of the rooms that I'm always in. I always see
Right.
people like my age or younger or older, little, doing these things. So it was like, I would figure a lot of people are doing this, but it turns out it's not really. It's far and few in between.
That
Yeah.
is so crazy.
So yeah, like I'm surprised. I'm like, really? You don't see a lot of this going on? But I guess it's only because, like, he's military and I'm current military, so you don't see a lot of people in that space
Mm-hmm.
being entrepreneurial, or just anybody young like us being entrepreneurial or pursuing things in the way that we are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not fun sometimes and it's not easy, but we understand the rewards are behind the risk. So we're willing to do it. We're willing to take the chance.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That was a nice
So
conversation.
it was really insightful. Got a lot of good information from it.
All right.
Um, yeah, that kind of, it's like a quote. Actually, I saw a quote on here. I forgot what I was on, like Tumblr or something, and it kind of rung to what I was just saying. It's like, are you willing to spend the next year or two uncomfortable to live the rest of your life how you see fit, or in bliss, or in peace, or however you see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to do that. A lot of people aren't willing to get uncomfortable with their situations, to push the needle forward in whatever direction that they're trying to head to.
Right.
And it's like, it's so easy to cop out, and to be like, oh man, you know what, this is too much. I'm just gonna go and just find an easier route, right? Um, but whenever you take on this responsibility, it comes with a certain level of expectation, not
Mm-hmm.
from anyone else, but from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you really have nobody to lean on, whether things go good or bad. It's all on you. And I feel like that kind of brings out a different level, or a different aspect of who you are. So these past few weeks, I've really been learning a lot about me, mostly because this whole journey has just been exposing me to a different aspect of who I'm currently becoming.
Nice.
And I'm enjoying the journey. So honestly, I'm enjoying the journey. I will say that I find that my conversations, I'm so quick to just like walk away from conversations that don't serve me.
Look.
And it's not being rude. At one point, like, this is how I know I've grown so much. Because there will be one point where I would entertain certain things because I didn't want to be rude or, mean or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
But when you start to grow to certain levels, it's just like you just don't have the space or capacity for certain things anymore. Because if it's not pushing you forward, then it's like, why entertain it? You know, like if
What
this
is coming from this conversation? What is the benefit? What are we doing here?
right,
Why are we having it?
exactly,
Why did it start? Well,
right,
I literally just had a conversation like that the other night, last night, and
mm,
me and my sister were talking about it. I was like, and the energy exchange, I felt it shift, and I said, oh, well, this is not a conversation I want to engage in. So I'm gonna go. You can keep talking. I just wanted to let you know I'm gonna hang up at this point. So you can feel however you want to feel and talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I will not be joining you. Because I felt
mm,
the energy change, and I was like, oh, we don't even step into spaces like this anymore. Like this is not a room for us. This is not a space that we like to be in. So we're gonna leave because we know
mm,
that this is not for us. We are made for much
mm,
greater spaces than what we're in right now. So
mm.
that's really interesting that you say that. I feel like we always have like some type of mirroring going on when we tell stories.
I swear, every time. I
Every
don't know what it is. It's some kind
time.
of telekinesis going on.
Right.
But how do you? So that really takes a lot of self love and self discipline to say that, especially to somebody you love so much. I mean, you don't want to seem like I'm being rude because that could be so easily taken as that. So how do you, I guess, cultivate that? Like, how do you find that within yourself to be like, look, I respect what you got going on, but I'm not going to partake in it.
How do I say this? So before I went on my journey, I think for a really long time, I went through life. I was really angry. Um, so going through doing that shadow work, um, you get familiar with those demons and that dark side. And once you do that, you can kind of cultivate a relationship with it to where um, you use it in a way that suits what is going on with you. Um, what did I say? I have said this to a friend one time. A man that is friends with his shadows is a dangerous man or something along those lines. But getting along with your shadows, doing that shadow work and really digging deep within yourself and being okay with who you are, what you've done, who you've been, the things you've said, and the choices that you have made. And then integrating that into who you want to be, who you are, who you're trying to be, what you want to do, and all of that, and mixing it all together because that is all it's all in there. You just go in the bag and pick out, oh, this tool works perfect for this situation. So for a long time, I was not. I don't want to say I was really mean, but like I can take it there. Like we can do that. Like that's
Mm,
okay. Like I've been there. That's not a problem. But I would rather come at it
mm,
with love. But if I need to switch it up and go to this point real quick just so I can get my point across, I have no problem with doing that whatsoever. I prefer to be in the love. The love feels real good, but I don't have no problem switching it up. Like it's not an issue
mm,
for me personally. And I'm a very honest person. So I'm gonna say what I have to say if that's what's on my mind and that's my truth. I'm gonna say that every time. And I've always been that way. I haven't always been love
mm,
and light. I will say that. But being honest about how I feel is definitely something that I've always been
mm.
for sure. So it's not really hard for me to be like, I don't want to engage in this conversation. I don't think you want me to
Right,
be there because you don't want me to go further
right.
level right here.
Somebody feelings gonna get hurt.
Exactly.
Nah, that's a fact. I resonate with that. I can say that um you gotta really, like you said, you gotta really get comfortable with that dark side of yourself because I
Yep.
feel like it's something that you can't run from, and it's something that's always going to be a part of you. And I kind of heard a quote that kind of resonated with that too, and it's like in your darkest moments you have to be still, to shine, as bright as you possibly can, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
But like in my early along my early journey, when I first started like meditation and like opening my third eye, pineal gland and stuff like that, that was something my sister put me on to. When I first tried it by myself, it was scary, because we didn't already seen some stuff already, but when I first started doing that kind of work for myself, it was like, dang. And I kind of knew what aspects of me were starting to come up and I didn't like it. So I tried to like suppress it like I always have, but it was just like so apparent that I couldn't ignore it at that point.
Yep.
So it was like I would express it in ways that weren't really the healthiest ways, but it was only because this was the first time I was actually fully expressing this part of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, people looked at me like, this ain't you. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the Paulizè that everybody knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Paul that everybody knows, right? Like, you really a kind person. Like, you ain't what's up? What's going on? That was just that part of me that's coming out.
Mm.
And over time, I guess, not I guess, over time, I started to get deeper and deeper into my practices and everything. And then I started to cultivate this balance within me. So now it's like I understand what needs to happen or what needs to be in certain situations now.
Yep.
Um, and it's just like a what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it's like they mingle now, like they come
Yeah.
together, right?
I
It
feel like,
just
oh, for sure. Sorry. Go ahead.
now go ahead.
I was gonna say it just feels like that dark side, that shadow side needs to be acknowledged, or else it will keep trying to come out in the way that it feels it needs to come out. Until you
Mm,
acknowledge it and really like build that relationship with it, and integrate it, like you said, and create that balance of when is this most useful. It was a tool that we built at some point because it was useful. It's not
mm,
always useful. Now we get to choose when it is useful and let it have its power in that way. And so it's like
mm,
just the acknowledgement of it is what really opens up that door to figuring out how to balance it all together.
mm. You know what I don't like? Now that you say, I don't like how conversations like this, when you talk about that dark side of yourself, that it's looked at as evil. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Like I don't like that, and I feel like it
yeah.
comes from ignorance, right? It comes from a lack of knowledge and a lack of wisdom too.
Hmm.
Because anybody who studies themselves knows that there is a balance. You
Yeah.
have to balance too, right? There's no If you got too much light within you, you go blind. But
Mm,
if there's too much
mm,
darkness, you can't see. You
mm.
have to have a balance in between the two. So, what are some practices that you think you can use to kind of cultivate the balance between the light and the dark side of oneself? What are some practices you do?
Practices. Oh man. Journaling is a real. I feel like journaling is really beneficial. Because it's about being really like raw, honest with yourself, like
Mm,
honest to the core, to
mm,
really break through those walls and build that relationship. And journaling did a lot of that for me because I journaled for a really long time. I would journal about things in the past, and then I would go back and read them and really sit with myself with them, um, and kind of just think them through. I'm not so much. I'm a very big thinker. Like I'll just sit in my head and just talk to myself and like figure out what. Why did we do that? What's going on there? I'm big on self reflection. Like a
mm,
moment could have ended just now. I'm already reflecting on it like
mm,
immediately. Um, so I try not to go too long with suppressing things and ignoring what's going on with me. And I think that's what really helped doing the work, being
mm,
okay with doing the work and getting uncomfortable, crying, reaching out to people and saying, "Hey, like today was really tough. I'm working on some things and today was a rough one. Like, is it okay if like
mm,
we talk? Can I come over hang out?" And that's where loved ones are really just one of the greatest blessings for me. Like I'll do the work, and I make sure that I'm taken care of around people who can fill my cup, who help me feel that love. Because going through that dark side, it really does get dark. Like it can go there. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta have that support and know where you can go, who you can talk to. Um, After you're going through those processes of figuring out traumas and why you react the way you do, and why am I triggered by this? What's going on with me for me to react this way or feel this way? Um,
Mm,
so yeah, a lot of self reflection for me, and then having
that's
that
tough.
part. Yeah.
That's dope. I feel like part of that self reflection is, so I made a video about this,
Hmm.
and I was talking about how we all come here with an assignment, right?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I feel like that we come here with sub assignments too. So it's like you got these little assignments to deal with the big assignments that
Yeah.
you or that is ordained over your life.
Hmm.
And I feel like what you said with that work, part of the sub assignments is dealing with a certain aspect of yourself
Mm.
that is probably a challenge, but it's something that is
Necessary.
meant to grow you, right? It's meant to grow you, it's meant to develop you and make you better. Like I know for me the biggest thing that I struggled with was like having more confidence within myself, right?
Hmm.
That was a challenge coming up for me growing up. And I always knew that I was destined for something great. I just didn't know what. And
Yeah.
I knew that going through and understand, like I would go through different things that would um put me in a position to be courageous, right? To stand
Hmm.
up or do what is outside of my comfort zone. And I feel like that would lead to other epiphanies, right? It would lead to other things that would just make sense as to why I needed to go in this direction in my life. So I feel like everybody has like these small assignments that they need to take care of before they can really assess the bigger picture, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that was just one of mine. I would say the confidence part and just believing in my ability and understanding that I have everything within me to do what it is that I need to do to achieve whatever goals that I have set for that I set for myself.
Hmm.
So, what do you believe like your sub assignment was like, or what are some things that you felt like? Because you said anger, that was one. What
Woo.
do you think that was? What do you
That's a
think
big
were
one.
some other things you had to overcome too?
Um, I mean, I know I said anger, but self love. Like, I was so hard on myself. Like,
Mm,
I had myself up on such a, I don't know what I thought was going on, but like, I would really beat myself up for stuff. I don't, the things that I would accomplish, I'd be like, yeah, but I should have done more. I should have gotten this instead. Like, I
mm-hmm.
should be here. And what's crazy is it wasn't based on what I saw other people doing. It was solely based on where I thought I should be. I thought that I should be doing all these great, amazing things. And I think it came from like, being in school. Like, I was really good at school. School was real fucking easy for me. Excuse my language. Sorry, it was. And so, like, you get out of that. And then I hated college. So it was like, well, that's not how they told me it was supposed to go. Like, I was good at
Right.
school. I was supposed to still be good at school. And I was good at it. I just hated it. I did not want to be there. So
Mm,
then I left school and now I'm just in the world like, I should be doing great things. I should already be helping people. I should already be doing these amazing things that I want to do. And I kind of just had to, a couple years ago, I don't know what happened. I bought a house. I have a car. Like, I'm doing fine. And I was constantly telling myself, like, it's not enough. House should be bigger, should be in a
mm,
greater neighborhood. It should cost more. What? What is that?
mm,
Who talks to themselves like that? That's crazy. Like, now that I look back, I just laugh because it's like, why would I ever talk to myself that way? I wouldn't talk to anybody else that way, but I was talking to myself like that daily.
mm,
Um, so that was something that really hit me, and that one hurt. That one hurt
mm.
big time to realize that I was really beating myself down in the way that I was. So yeah.
What would you? What would you tell somebody if they were coming to you asking you like, "Yo, I feel like I'm doing good, but I'm not doing enough." Like just
Mm,
somebody outside of yourself. What would you tell that person who's struggling with that?
are you trying? Are you trying?
Mm,
It's as simple as that. Are you trying? If the answer is yes, then what more would you like for you to do? If you are trying, you can continue to try because all you can do is what you can do. It's as simple
mm,
as that. Like it doesn't get more complicated. You have to
mm,
figure out what works for you, what's going on with you, what's holding you back. You say you're trying. Do you really feel like you're trying? Why?
mm,
Okay, let's work back. Why are you not fully trying? Because of this? Is that a real excuse or is that something that you're telling yourself to make yourself feel better?
mm,
That self-reflection has to come in at some point.
mm,
At some point, and the accountability has to come in. Um, but if it's solely based on you just feeling like you should be better based on what you see, or you're just in some delusional place where your best is should always be better, that's
mm,
okay. You should always strive for progress and to better yourself, but you also need to acknowledge the effort that you are putting in first and foremost. Give
mm.
yourself a pat on the back at some point, like, geez. Life, geez, life is already
Like,
hard. You don't need to make it harder
right.
by saying you're not doing enough. Like,
Golly.
okay, to say, you know
Man,
what,
look,
that was rough, but I got through it. Like, please
facts.
acknowledge yourself and your efforts.
Yeah, appreciate the greatness that that you've calculated so far. Like, dang, I had a quote in my journal, bro, that speaks to it so much. It was like, instead of saying like, why hasn't this happened to me yet? Say to yourself, I'm proud of the progress that I've made. Like, look how much I've grown. And I will say that um that was something that I used to do to myself too. Like I always felt like I would compare my journey to what I was intaking on a consistent basis because I thought I had to be in a certain
Mhm,
position by a certain period of time just based on what I was watching and just like some illusionary time frame that I put myself on, not
mhm.
knowing that there's a process that you have to go through, right?
Yeah.
There's a process, there's steps, and it's not gonna look the same, right? Um, it's not going to look the same. You got to go through your process. You got to make your mistakes
Mhm.
and you got to really create that for yourself, because yeah, you can utilize somebody else's blueprint to get you further, but you're
Yeah.
still going to have certain things that you got to overcome too in your own personal life because that's your journey. And I will say that that's one thing that I've learned over the years is just learning how to have more grace and more elegance and more gratitude for my journey and where I'm at. And knowing that every single day, as long as I continue to show up, I know I'm going to get 1% better every
Yeah.
single time. If that's all I'm shooting for, just 1%, right?
Yeah.
I I already got high expectations for myself, but let's make sure that we're shooting at something that is feasible, that we can see, that we can grab onto, so that way it can keep us going. Because it's so easy to lose motivation and momentum in the process of whatever it is that you're doing. Because you see these goals right here, they're
Okay.
big, they
Okay.
are huge. But the thing is, on this side, I got them broken down into things that are feasible so I can know, like, okay, I'm winning. I'm winning at something. Like I'm winning at these smaller things because I can check it off and see that I'm making progress towards the bigger goal. And it's not the easiest thing to do, but I feel like that's the thing that keeps a lot of people in whatever game it is that they're playing is like, how are you keeping score? Not the results, but how are you keeping score of, you know, what you're doing as far as
Yeah.
like, how are you showing up every single day?
Mhm.
Because one thing I've learned, right, is that you will never understand a good opportunity until you've fumbled a couple of great ones, right? And that was something that I had to learn. Like with my process, I always tried to just jump ahead and just be like, all right, I'm ready. Boom. Like 3 weeks in, okay, I'm ready. Like, nah, it takes a little longer than that. So I always say and Abraham Hicks says this a lot too. It's like you're getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
We're all just getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready for whatever it is that we got planned.
Yep.
Like even with this is a getting ready type of phase that
Yeah.
we're in right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What this is gonna be, I mean, it is. I don't know, but
I
you
don't
know,
know,
one
but
thing
I'm
I have learned from
ready.
you, one thing I've learned from you is that you just are so in the moment and you already know it's gonna be great, but then you bring yourself back to that present moment to be like, okay, well, let's just see what it goes. Let's just see how it goes. Let's just see what it does, right? Let's just
Yeah.
keep continuing to show up every single day and see what we create from that, from there.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be organized and have everything in order, but at the same time, you gotta learn to follow your gut, your instincts, your intuition, your spirit guides, because they're ultimately gonna be the ones that put you in the right direction, in the right position to do what it is that you're supposed to do anyway.
Right. 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 Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
And sometimes you can
that's
strategize all you want, but sometimes what everything you got down, they're like, "Oh, we're actually stopping at step 2 that you have, and we're gonna go this way. So you can next that, get rid of that plan, and then we're gonna go over here." And you're like, "Oh, now I gotta improv the rest of it." Cool, cool, cool. That's
for real. It's man, look, these curveballs, bro. I'm like, bro, just tell me, stop playing with me. Like, just tell me where I need to be. It's like, nah, go ahead and do it.
no,
Nah, go ahead and
see
do that. Do
see what happens.
that. Yeah.
Go ahead, see.
Watch where it leads you. We wanted you right here. We wanted you to do that so you can get to where it is we wanted you to be, to put you in position to, all right, now go do this. And it's like, wait, I was just doing this. It's like, nah. We just needed you to get here. Now we need you to go do this.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, all right, damn.
Cool.
I thought this was it,
Okay.
but
All right. Well, gotta go.
I gotta do something.
It's over here.
Man, that's how do you do that though? Like, what are some things you do to really get tapped into that intuition, right? Because I learned that intuition, the word is a Latin word for intuari, which means to know. So it's like you just know without having a blueprint or a map to where it is that you got to be. So what do you do to like increase that intuitiveness to know and trust that you're being guided in the right direction?
That's a really good question. I really like that question. I think for me personally, since I was really young, I've just always had um, a want to help people and to be happy in my own life. Like, those were like the two main things. And I got that from journaling and meditating and having conversations with my younger self, the I want to say like the original me, like the one who is was definitely more in tune with what I wanted to do, because I was my purest self at that time, right? So going
Mhm.
back and having that conversation and getting back to, oh, I want to help people and I want to be happy. Okay, let's start there. And then once I figured that out, I kind of just figured out like my values and what feels good, and just through life experience, trusting my gut and looking at my track record of I have survived all the really hard days that already happened. So I guess it's safe to say if another bad day comes along, I'm gonna figure it out as long as I try. So trusting myself, and then when my mental health got really bad, and there was that little voice that was like, "No, this isn't what we're doing. We're actually going to do more than what you're talking about. So keep pushing, keep going." And ever since then, the voice just never left, and I just never stopped listening to it. Like, oh shoot, you're
Mm.
right. Like, everything is always working out for me. Oh my goodness. Well, look, here it is again. Every day, I'm just like, wow, it's always just working
Yeah.
out for me. So, I mean, it
Right.
doesn't. For me, it doesn't get. I don't like to complicate it. Like, it really gets that simple when you're really honest with yourself. I think that's where a lot of us struggle. because we don't want to be honest with ourselves. Why do we feel this way? Why are we letting this affect us? Why is this how we feel in this moment? Why are we reacting this way? We're not being honest about those things, and so it's making it that much harder for ourselves.
Mm.
And I've always been big on self-reflection and honesty, and I think that's what's helped me really figure
Mm.
out.
So
Yeah.
so you don't do like you say you don't complicate it. So you don't look for signs, or you don't like consciously try to look for signs and use affirmations, or have like these rituals that you practice every single day. And it's like, if you don't do these rituals, then you feel off. You just kind of allow it to come to you as is.
I do. I say my gratitudes every day, um,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the day. But I think that's also something I've just kind of. I don't do it at a certain time. I just do it throughout the day. Oh, that's perfect. I came up with a saying, um, for myself.
Mm.
I really
Okay.
like it.
Oh, oh, a saying. Okay.
Um, so anytime something happens that seems inconvenient or unfavorable, or even when it's not, when everything's going good, I just like to. This is my new thing to say. You ready? I'm
Mm-hmm.
blessed at the beginning of the day. I'm blessed in the middle of the day. And I am still blessed at the end of the day because my blessings don't take breaks.
Ooh.
No matter what's going
Mm.
on, I'm still blessed. I'm still
My
here. I'm
blessings
still breathing.
don't
I've
take breaks.
got a roof over my head. I've got my needs are taken care of. Blessed. Does this moment
Mm.
suck? Kinda. Still blessed. Like
Mm.
it gets that simple for me. Like, and I think that's what helps me.
God, that's powerful.
Right?
That's powerful.
Right?
Yo, you know what? That's tough. You know what? I need to find me a saying now.
Yeah,
I
find
got so
one.
many. Yo, there's so many though. It's like I never stick to one. It's like I'll use
Oh, for
one for this
sure.
week, and then it's like, okay, now I need something new.
Just make a
Um,
list and then go back when you can't think of one. Like, I'll use number 72 today. Like,
Bang. Yo, oh, let me tell you, right? So I've been journaling differently lately. I really like this style of journaling. I don't know where it came from, but I'm using the dates as like chapters, and then I title each log each time that I put in a log on my notes.
mm-hmm.
It's in my journal. So it's like today, well, yesterday it was 7/28, 2023, right? But it's 7/28/23, and it was titled what did I title it? Evolution? Yeah, I think it was evolution. So I titled it evolution, and then I have like these quotes that just resonate with me. But first I write the quotes, and then based on how I feel about it, that's the title of it. So anytime I look through my journal, I can say, oh, I can go back to 7/25/23, and that's how I chaptered it in my notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I'm feeling how I feel, it's like the dates are chapters in my notebook. So I can go back to 7/01/23. So that way I can keep track of when this was or how I felt during this time and stuff like that. So that's tough though. I like that. That's tough. I'll show it to you later, but that's tough. I like that saying. I might
Hey,
use that. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. You said something that I really want to speak on.
be honest.
You said all you wanted to do was help people and be happy. I'm gonna be honest. Um, when I started off in my journey, like my first video ever,
Mm-hmm.
um, I wanted to find people like me.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like I don't think I really wanted to help anybody. I think I
Mm-hmm.
was looking for help myself,
Ooh.
because I was like,
Ooh.
yeah, I was looking for help, and I don't know. It was like when I first got on this journey, I wanted to create a space where I could find other like minds. But
Mm-hmm.
then somehow or another I ended up helping people. So then I was just like, okay, well, I guess this is because I was apparently whatever I was doing, it was helpful. But I
Right.
didn't do it for to help anybody. I was doing it because I wanted to create a space where other people felt the way I felt, and we could come together and we could like build something. I don't know what exactly, but it just felt good to know that I'm not the only one that thinks like this, that wants to do something more, that sees the world in the way that it is, not for what it is perceived as.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. That just it was kind of selfish at first
Mm-hmm.
along this journey, but now that I'm here, it's like I do really want to help people now because I know that there's somebody out there that felt the same way at
Exactly.
some point. So
Exactly like you.
that's. How did you know you wanted to help people though at that young?
Man, I feel like I was just really in tune with myself when I was younger. I didn't like to get angry. I didn't like people talking to me. I was very particular.
Right.
And I don't know why, I have a really strong memory of when I was younger. I don't know what that means. I also thought I was a robot. I knew I was just very in tune. Like I knew I was not from here. I was like, Mom, I actually would like to go back to where I came from. I remember saying that to her multiple times. She's like, you literally can't. And I was like, well, if we could try, that would be cool. So if we can put some effort into it, that'd be awesome. Because I'm not feeling
Oh
it.
god.
But like when I was
But
younger, I remember someone asking me, I was getting into this like gifted program. I don't know. And they asked me, well, what do you want to do when you get older? And I was like, I just want to like help people. I want to help people. So I was like, teachers help people. And as I got older, the answer would change as in like profession because you have to pick a career. But it was always what's a career that I've been told helps people. So that's what I want to do. And then I went through and like learned about things and never got to what I wanted, what I felt like was for me until
mm,
I had that conversation with myself. And I was like, what do you really want to do? Help people. In what way? I don't know. Let's just start trying some stuff. And that's when I got into
mm.
mental health. And I was like, ooh, mental health. I love it. Working with kids, I was like, ooh, I love it. Worked with older kids, I was like, oh, I love it. Now I'm working with adults, and I'm like, oh, I love it. Like, so like I just got to this point by doing things that feel good. Like, I don't know. I've just been very in tune with myself, I guess. I have a very loud voice,
Mm.
if that makes sense. I can't really,
Nah, that makes.
I can't drown it out. Like, there is no
Mm.
not listening.
Nah, that makes total sense. I feel like I'm not just now, but like over the last few years, I'm just like now listening to that voice.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like you, I was kind of on the opposite side because everything in my life just let me know what I didn't want. So I was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Cause I would just always try stuff. Cause I guess for me, I didn't really come into my greatness until I turned like I want to say maybe like 19,
Mm-hmm.
18, because I felt like I lived the majority of my life just unconsciously, like you can remember, but I can like little spurts I can remember like as a child or whatever the case is. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really come into my consciousness until like I was like 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
And that just put me on a path of like, okay, what do I want in my life? I know this isn't what I want. I know this isn't what I want. And I'm still kind of on that journey of doing that too. Cause it's like
Yeah.
I know things that I want and I know clearly the things that I don't want. It's like
Yeah.
and following that now. It's like, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. And kind of going back to the conversation we had before, just being honest, because sometimes I would do things, but I don't want to be rude to other people. So I'll stay longer than necessary. Right.
Ooh,
And
that's real.
so after a while, it's like, okay, look, I'm just gonna let you know how it is. It's not being rude, but I don't want to do this no more. This isn't cool.
I don't want to do
However you feel, yeah, like I'm good. I don't want to do this no more.
this. Not
However you feel is how you feel. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just not. I'm cool on this now. It's
yeah.
time for me to move on. Spirit's telling me that it's time to do something else now. And
Mhm.
so I feel like if more of us cultivate that love for ourselves, because that's really where it starts.
Yeah, it is.
Really where it starts. Once you start cultivating that love for yourself, then you'll start to open up more doors and more opportunities to be like how you are. Like, I love it. I just love it. This is awesome. This is
Like
exactly
this
where I'm supposed to be right now. You know?
is
Love it here.
right, right, right.
Facts. How do you? I was watching a video the other day. I think I sent it to you, and it was talking about like if you want to divide the greatest species in the world, you got to separate themselves. Like you got to separate the love in them, the love that they have. You got to separate them from that. And we don't grow up knowing how to cultivate love for ourselves. Like schools don't teach meditation or affirmations or. But I will say this, right? When I was growing up in elementary school, there was this song that stuck with me. Um, it was "What a Wonderful World," and it was one of the most positive aspects of my life. I forgot who the artist was, but let me pull it up real quick. It was
Red roses.
yeah, yeah, Louis Armstrong. There we go. Yeah, they would play that song every morning for us as kids, and for some reason, it always stuck with me. I don't know why, even to this day. And like I said, they don't teach us how to cultivate that self love for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how would you teach a kid, or have you ever taught a kid how to cultivate self love for themselves?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, I think it's just I don't have kids, and kids aren't really with me often. Like when I worked with kids, it was like a rotation. Like I wasn't with them like all the
Mm,
time. But speaking to kids, um, with love, with honesty, um, treating them with dignity, I think is where you start. And then how you
mm,
speak about yourself in front of kids also matters. It matters a lot because they
mm,
don't know what they're doing. They don't know what's going on. They're looking at all the bigger humans to tell them and show them how this life thing is supposed to go. So first and foremost, being an example is always going to be, I think, number one, even if it's for other adults. Also, being an example. I can't tell you to love yourself, and I'm over here saying I'm a piece of shit to myself every day, and I don't do enough. Like that
mm,
doesn't even make sense. So first, being an example, and then speaking that life into them. There's so words mean a lot, especially when you're so young or you're still trying to figure things out. The way that we speak to people really matters. They could already have
mm,
some confusing emotions going on because they're experiencing things daily that they haven't experienced before. They're new here. They don't know what's going on.
mm.
They're trying to figure it
Right.
out. And if I'm adding to their confusion with animosity and just being mean and saying negative things, they're going to think, oh, that's normal. That's how this goes. When in turn, it's not. Um,
Mm,
being grateful for what you have and just giving them that positivity and that example of this is do you like how this feels when I speak to you in such a positive way. So I don't want to say like affirmations, but yes, affirmations, speaking affirmations to children on a regular is going to do a lot more for them than I don't even know the videos and movies that we throw in front of kids and say, here, this is a good movie, let's watch this. No, let's
hmm.
talk. Let's actually talk.
Yeah.
I've seen more
Nah.
and more parents speaking affirmations into their kids, teaching their kids to meditate and to really sit with themselves and work on breathing techniques. Um, and the kids nowadays are real different. So you can actually probably learn more from them than they would learn from you. So that's
Nah.
what
Facts.
that's what I've noticed. So yeah,
Nah.
being an
Facts.
example and then speaking that life into children is so important. They're just trying to figure it out.
Mm. Can we modern? Can we like? Can we normalize like speaking life into adults too? Because
Yes,
we're trying to figure it out too.
yes, absolutely,
Like
absolutely. When you
I
go out into public places and people and you see people, just smile. Why do you have to be? Why you gotta be so mad? Why you be upset? We're alive. We're out here just
yeah.
doing stuff. We're just experiencing. I think some people are so in their heads they don't even realize this person over here is in their mind just like I am, trying to figure it out, trying to see what am I doing? What am I doing here? How am I feeling?
mm,
How do I want to go through the day? How do I want to be in life? We're all doing
mm,
that. And I think it's so easy for people to forget, like, you're going through it just like I'm going through it. But we get so caught up in our own that it's so easy to not even see you and what you got going on.
mm.
That's
Nah,
why I always
facts for real.
smile. I'm always smiling at people in public. People probably think I'm crazy.
Yeah. You
People
know
are
what?
crazy.
The funny thing about that, I would get that like question all the time when I first started doing my spiritual journey.
Mhm,
Um, and even before then, this is who I always was. Like I always had a smile on my face, and
mhm.
I don't know why. I was just always happy. Like even when things happened, it was just like happy was just my natural state of being, no
That's
matter what I
amazing.
went through. Yeah, I don't know where it came from. And
Nice.
one day somebody said something. I was This is when I was in college. Um, one of the ladies at the front desk, because she would see me every day, and she was like, "Yo, why are you always smiling, or why are you always happy?" And I really was like thrown back because I never had nobody ask me that question. I was like, the first thing that came to mind was like, well, because it's good to be alive. It's good to be seen. Like
Yeah.
I'm here. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
here.
no matter, we're here. We're present. You
I'm
know, we're
present.
present.
Present. Like
And I feel like that is the biggest gift that a lot of us take for granted. It's like no matter what is going on, no matter what you may be doing or whatever you think you're not doing, you're still alive.
Mhm.
You're still living, you're still breathing, which means you still have an opportunity and a chance to get it right again. Like
Yep.
every day I feel like we're reborn anew. Like I love watching sunset because I know that and I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be a whole new life. I can have a brand new mind. I can have a different attitude, and I can tackle whatever goals I didn't tackle today differently, and get them all done. Plus the goals that I had planned for today as well.
Yep.
So you got to tackle life with gratitude, and you got to tackle people like that too, especially
Yep.
today. You know,
Yes.
that's that's important. That's important.
Facts. I
Man.
love connecting with people, even if it's for a short period of time. Um, we all need each other. Like that's it's just as simple as it gets. Does that mean that we need to keep everybody in our life that we come across? Absolutely not. My sister,
Mm,
she did this thing where it's like sometimes we meet people and we want to go like this on the path. Sometimes it's like this. We just cross each other. Sometimes we'll come back to each other. Maybe not. We'll just veer off into other spaces. And it's like you have to
mm,
be okay with that. You don't own anybody. Nobody owns you. People can come and go. I don't want to say as they please, but like it's life. Like why do I don't need to hold on to you, and you
mm.
don't need to hold on to me. Just let me be me and you be you. And if
Right,
we come together, we come together. If not, that's perfectly okay. I hope you go and find the people that are going to stay. There's
right.
nothing wrong with that. But I think
That's kind of hard though.
what's hard.
That's kind of That's kind of hard though. I mean, you say it and I get it and I resonate with it, but it's kind of hard to let people go if they've
Oh, for sure.
had a position in your life for a certain period of time.
Oh, for sure.
Um, I had that problem for a long time. I
Mhm.
knew there were people in my life I needed to let go, but I kept them because there was a connection there, and I didn't want to be the one to cut it or sever that tie because I was like, well, now you got to do it because I'm the type of person like I have a level of loyalty to me where it's like, look, I'm gonna ride with you through thick and thin, but I gotta understand that I gotta be loyal to me too.
Mhm.
I gotta be loyal to me too. So, have you ever had an instance like that where it was just hard to let go of somebody?
Oh, absolutely. It's but with what you said something, you said, I knew I should have let them go. It's right back to that honesty. You knew you should let them go. You knew that time had passed where, okay, it's time for us to go our separate ways, but you didn't. Why? You didn't trust yourself. You did not keep it raw and honest with yourself and say, okay, I know this isn't happening. Why? I'm scared. I don't want I don't want to hurt them. I care more about how they feel and react than how I feel and what I know. So back to
Mm,
being honest with ourselves. We know when it is time. We do, and we don't like to admit it because oh, we built up all this time together. Great, wonderful. Be grateful for those years and let's go. We got other people to see. Like we got stuff to do. Let's go.
gotta
But
skedaddle.
also that comes with the life experience. Like you say, like we know it now. I didn't know that like 6 years ago, 4 years ago. Like I was still holding on to people because I
Mm,
wasn't being honest with myself. It comes with life experience. It gets hard. You mess up.
mm.
You hold on too long. Once you let go, you're like, ah, should have let go a little earlier. You get into a new situation, you meet another person, or it's an old friend, and you're like, ah, it's kind of that same feeling. Can I be honest with myself and keep it real and say it's time to let go?
Mm,
Yeah, last time I held on too long, it just got worse and worse. So it's about that self reflection and being honest with yourself and being okay with
mm,
that uncomfortable feeling of, oh, this is new, this is different. I'm used to having this person around. Be grateful for
mm,
that time that you had with them, that you got to connect, that you even cultivated a relationship to where you struggled to let go. That's
mm.
beautiful. That's beautiful that you're like, ah, we're going separate ways, but I wish it wasn't like this. Ah, be so grateful that you have that. Be so grateful.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? The universe has God has a great sense of humor.
Right.
Let me
Hilarious.
tell you why. Uh, This is why, right? Because you say
Hilarious.
that, right? Because that's the process I'm in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm moving. And no, I'm in Georgia now. I moved from South Carolina to Georgia, but I'm moving different units now because my unit, like I'm in the military, my unit is in South Carolina.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm doing a interstate transfer, and now I'm moving to a unit here in Georgia because it's more convenient, it's closer to home. It doesn't have a heavy cost on me. And it's like as soon as I started to walk down that path and get into that process, we came together in a way that was like phenomenal. Like the bond that we did that created because we had annual training this year and it's like 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, it was like the best AT we've ever had. Like
Oh,
hands down, this was the best. I was like, yo, this is so lit. This was fun. We connected in ways that we never connected before. Like we
mm-hmm.
really became family during those 2 weeks. Like we was already like cool, tight knit, all those things, but we really came together differently. And I was like, damn, why I want to do this now when I'm about to leave? Like, you're just making it harder because I'm trying to cut ties and just, well, not cut ties, but I'm just trying to like, bow out gracefully and be like, I've
Right.
had an amazing experience with
Mm-hmm.
all of you, but now it's time for me to go. And it's like, I feel like the universe does that to test to see if, are you really ready to go?
Where you gonna go?
Because are you really going to go?
You gonna go?
And it's like, yeah, I am.
Not
Like
yet.
I've made peace. I've made peace with it, and it's like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to, because I'm honestly nervous and scared because I don't know where this other unit gonna be. I don't know
Mhm,
who I'm gonna meet. I don't know what the environment's like. But I'm
mhm,
just going in there with this mindset of I know it's gonna be great, and I know it's gonna be something to boost and elevate my life to the next level because that's what every single experience has done up to this point. And just understanding that everything has its ebbs and flows, like you said. There's a time when you got to connect and you got to be there when you need to be there, how long you need to be there, and then when it's time to go, it's like, okay, well, it's time to go.
I gotta get out of here.
I got to skedaddle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That's tough. That is tough, man. It's great though. It's great when you get new people into your life because that energy is so renewing.
I know. It
Yeah.
is. I was just thinking that. I've made so many connections over the past couple weeks. Like, wow. That's all I can say. Is just like, wow. Where
Mm.
y'all come from? Where you been? Come here. Give me a hug.
Right. For real. it's funny, like, because it's like how we connected. It was just like it was random. It was random,
It was
honestly.
probably the most random of them all.
Yeah. And then it's like, wow, months later, here we are now. Got a whole podcast and everything. So it
Look
was
at us.
unexpected, but
What is that
it
video?
just
Have you seen of Paul Rudd? Is it Paul Rudd? He was like, "Look at us. Who thought we'd be here? Not me. That's
right.
us."
Yo, facts, facts, facts. But this is a wonderful journey. I'm grateful for all the people that I've met, for the people that I haven't met yet. And that's the season I'm in, honestly. Like for the longest time, I've been isolated and just to me.
hmm
And God did that for a reason. I understand why, because there were just certain circles and environments. I'm impressionable. So I adapt pretty quickly and easily to certain environments. And I know that any environment that I'm in, I'm gonna adapt to it.
Facts.
So there are certain environments that I don't need to be in.
hmm
So therefore, I went on this isolation period. So now I'm in this stage where I know myself, I trust myself, I love myself, and anywhere that I go, I know that I'm cultivating my environment around me based on my standards, my beliefs, my morals. Oh, speaking of which, I wanted to talk to you about love, right?
Yes. Lovely.
What what does we're already an hour in, that's awesome. What does love, and I think we've talked about it before, but what does love mean for you? Like stand for you?
Um, Great question. Love is, I feel like, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, energy that there is. Um, when you really sit in it, it can be healing. Um, it can do. It's so powerful that it can change situations. It can change conversations, relationships. But it's a choice. You have to choose to be there. And there's a lot that comes with it. And I think what people, it's like I feel like love is a big pot of things, but
Mm,
the ingredients are kind of mitchy matchy for every person. But
mm-hmm,
the pot that it's in is still the same. It's that real big energy that can hold a whole lot. And I feel like
mm,
it's a choice to put those certain things in: self discipline, self care, support, trust, valuing yourself and others, not having judgment. It's a really big, strong energy. And for me, it's really about support and honesty and genuineness,
mm,
and really embodying that and giving it out. So you make it for yourself first. So you get the
mm-hmm.
ingredients real good. You're like, oh, this is great. This is good stuff. Do this
Right.
yourself. Now I can pass it out. Now I can consciously go out and give it to other people. And that's really how I feel love is. It can't be pinpoint as this one thing for every person, because we all feel love differently. That's why there's the love languages, for the ways that we receive and give love in our daily lives. So for me, yeah, it's that big energy, the best energy to feel, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm,
That's why I'm so big on self love and loving yourself first. Because once you do
mm,
that, you cultivate it so strong, you really build it up in yourself. And now it's like, oh, my love is strong. Now I am able to go and give it to other people. Yeah.
mm. So you could say that you give love conscious, and the reason I say this, right?
hmm
The reason I say this is because that can be so easily misconstrued, because people would say like, "Oh yeah, I've cultivated this love for myself and I've given it to others, but I've given it and I've given it to the wrong people, and that kind of changes the person's love language." So, could you say that you give love consciously? So that way, it's like you're not expecting anything in return. You just, this is my
Exactly that.
love.
Right there. I give love with no expectations. My love is it's
Mm,
free. Like, you don't have to pay for it. Like, I make it in myself, in here. Here's the factory. I can make it at any time, so I can give it out at any time, and I am in charge of that love bank. Um, I'm making the
Okay.
love. I'm building the love. I'm building what it looks like for me, and it's genuine, and I don't
Mm,
need anything back in return. I give it because I have so much of it already within me that it's coming out
mm,
of my pores. So now I can give you some, so I can share that. I don't need you to give that energy back to me, but know that when you come across someone like me, the love comes for free. You don't have to give it back, and it's yours to keep. Do with it what you may. Um,
mm,
but I think a lot of we it hasn't always been that way. I have been in the other way around it, where it's like, well, you're not, why would people not treat me the way that I treat them? Like, that's crazy. I'm just gonna keep all this love for myself, or I just won't do this, I won't do that, and I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna change myself because other people won't do what I'm expecting them to do, because that's what I expect
mm,
from me. You got to be honest with yourself. You don't like not loving on people. That doesn't feel good. Be honest. You don't like being a hard ass and, well, I'm gonna just close everybody out. I'm gonna build up this wall. Okay, well, you're gonna get tired and lonely back there. So start
mm,
building on that love while you're back there in that wall, pushing people away, and be real with yourself and say, I do want to love on people, but I put expectations on people that I probably shouldn't have, and that hurt me,
mm,
and that's okay. But I'm still gonna love the way that I love, because that's the way that I love.
mm,
And because I can make my own love, I don't need you to love me.
mm.
It's all
You
about
got
being
that interest free love.
yeah. Right.
Interest free love. That's dope. So,
Exactly.
so how do you vet people? Like, how do you know who to give love to? Like, I guess that's based on like experience, or like, how do you know who to like give it to if it's free?
Honestly, people that I come across, you kind of already got it. If we're engaging in a conversation, I'm present with you. I'm right there. Are you having a hard day? Let's talk about it. Is there one piece of advice that I can give you that would maybe help this situation? If not, I'm going to give you a compliment. I give strangers compliments all the time. Oh my God, I
Mm,
love your dress. That is so cute. You never know if somebody needed that. And that dress was cute. Where did you get it? Like, it's that simple. It is that simple. And it's so
mm,
genuine. When it's genuine, I don't really think it matters. Like,
mm,
letting someone know, hey, there's someone out here who felt good about seeing you smile in that moment, in those 2 seconds that y'all met. That's a little bit of love. You can take that with you for the rest of the day. Ciao. Maybe
mm,
we'll see each other again. Like, it's that simple for me. Like,
mm,
and if you're having a bad day and you're not feeling it, that is a struggle. When you're like, okay, I was
mm,
trying to give out love and you're being rude. But if we can reel it back, you can still have a little love and take it with you. But watch how you
mm.
talk.
Gotta come correct. Gotta come correct.
Exactly, exactly.
I was thinking of that, and I was thinking of an acronym like on what love means because I was thinking about it from like my aspect, and I was thinking the acronym for me, love means living on values and ethics,
Ooh, yes.
and I feel like that goes a long way
Mhm.
because for me, the way that I give, I never really thought about that, like the way that I give love, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I've always done that. Like I've always given people love unconditionally because I truly care about everybody that I encounter.
Yep.
And now it's like now you're learning how to give love, like like who, yeah, who deserves it, of course, right? But you're gonna give it to anybody regardless. But now it's like this stage of like who gets that love because everybody is going to receive me how they receive, right? Because that's just who I am.
Exactly.
My heart is open.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So I like that. I really like that. That's really dope. And we need more of that, honestly. We
Yeah,
need more of that. I think there is a lot of that, but it's just not spoken about. Because people genuinely want to give love, I feel like.
they do want
People
to.
genuinely want to, but they're just scared because they don't know how
They
people
don't
are
want
gonna
to be hurt.
perceive them. Yeah.
There's those
They don't want to be
expectations.
hurt.
Yep.
Hmm,
Like Abraham
that's
says,
tough.
humans, we're not reliable to each other. Like, we are gonna let each other down if we're expecting us to get those things from outside of us from other people. It's not gonna. It doesn't work like that. You have to build it in yourself first,
Mm.
and it gets so much
That
easier after that.
mm. Lesson of the day. It gets easier.
It gets easy. Comes with
It
practice.
does.
It comes with practice
It,
for sure.
it does. And it looks good on you, honestly. I feel like you age better when you give love in that way.
Oh my God!
Like,
Literally,
man, look, people
literally.
be thinking I'm 21 and I'm just like, no, 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 no. I
Yeah,
appreciate it
never
though, because I do feel that way, you know? I will say this, right? I do feel better now than I did when I was younger. It's odd because all you ever hear people say is like, "Oh, wait till you get up to a certain age, then your body starts doing this, that." And I'm like, I don't, I haven't experienced that yet, so I must be doing something right.
No, that's real. I don't want to say hate, but I really dislike when people say that. Oh, I'm getting old. You're 30. Stop. You haven't even done anything. Like what
Right.
do you mean you're old? What is going on? I call myself
Let's be,
still.
yeah.
I feel like a child,
Let's be
honestly.
honest. Let's be honest. You don't really get grown till you're about 35, right? If you want to look at time like that, you don't
Grown,
really get grown
yeah.
till you're about.
Old, old is like I don't even know. 80 to me. That's when you can be like,
I mean,
oh, okay, I'll take that.
I don't know, bro. I be seeing these people, these black women and men that are in their 70s, and they
70s
are
and
like
60s and looking like 30, like
killing it. I'm
love
like,
it.
bro,
I love to see it.
I'm telling you, that's
Love it.
got me thinking like, I feel like that's how we're gonna be like as we get older. Like in this generation, we're all just gonna continue getting younger and younger and younger. Like it's
Yep,
just the lifespan is increasing
I think so. I was
for
thinking about
real.
that the other day. I absolutely agree. Which is so cool to think
Yeah,
about. Like, oh, what am I gonna
right,
look like next week?
right. Like, I'm gonna look like this forever. Okay, I can dig that. I can
Right,
dig that.
right.
Right. As long as you continue to just cultivate that self love for yourself, drinking
Yep.
water, minding your business,
I was gonna say mind.
smoothies. That's the key. Minding your business.
My
Golly.
business is that, and
Mind a
have
business that
gratitude.
minds you.
Have gratitude
Have
for
gratitude.
life.
Facts. Facts.
Yep.
Man, this has been an awesome conversation so far.
Yep.
Um, it's hard to believe that it's already been an hour, maybe a little over, hour
Yeah.
and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you just never know where these conversations are gonna go. You know what's funny? Do you set goals? Like, do you set goals, and if so, how often do you set them?
Yes, I set goals. Um, Kind of just depends what I got going on. Um, I don't have, there's no order to my life and what I do. So it's like if I feel like, okay, we did good with these goals or we accomplished these goals, go on to the new ones. There's like fitness goals, there's health goals, there's business goals. Like there's different goals. So it's like I don't sit and do them all at the same time, if that makes sense, because you
Mm,
accomplish them in different spans. Like I don't make myself um, set those timelines of all five of these categories need to be in a row by this time. So it's
mm,
like wherever I'm at with each goal, then I'll sit down and write them out. And it's funny, I just updated my whiteboard like 2 days ago. I told you like
me too.
every now and then I'll sit down and do my goals and then I won't touch them again. But it's on my whiteboard, so I'm looking at it every day, so it's good. Um,
Mm. Nah, facts, facts.
yeah,
I learned this right
and
because
that's
I just redid mine too. I had to because it was messy. I'm getting
they do
more
get
organized now.
they do get messy.
I was listening to an audio from Abraham, and she says that whenever you are given the vision, the only thing you have to do is just let go and then
Mm,
allow the impulses to come to you to put you in position to get you towards that vision.
yep.
Um, and sometimes that's hard to do,
Mhm.
especially if you have goals. and those goals pertain to the vision that you have. And when
Mhm.
you're looking at it from a 3D perspective, it's like, wow, you know, I'm getting close, or I'm not getting close. I need to work harder. So
Right.
what's that process like? Like, how do you just let go and allow the vision to manifest and unfold for you in the proper divine timing?
For me personally, I feel like my body tells me every time. It's a different it's a different kind of, for me, when it hits me, when I'm like, "Oh, I need to be resting." It's a different kind of tired. Like, there's a tired where I'm not sleeping because I'm up late working on my website, and then there's a tired where I just don't have it in me at all. And that's, I think, when I'm like, "Oh, we got to chill out. We're forcing it at this point." And I think that, forcing it, you feel yourself forcing it, and once you catch on to that, that's when I take a second and I decompress, let myself just be. And usually not too long after that, it pops back up, and we're like, all right, I'm writing a poem. Let's do this. Like,
Mm,
it comes quick, but you gotta pay attention to yourself. What are your signs personally? Because it's not gonna look the same for everybody else. But for me, I
mm.
get really, really tired, like depleted of energy, and like my patience
Mm.
gets low. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a whole shift.
Nah,
I'm like, why am I feeling? I'm doing too much. That's what it is. I need to sit down somewhere.
yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What
I've
about
learned
you?
that
I know
too.
you got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm learning that too. Like, I'm learning to listen to my intuition, knowing which direction I need to take.
Yeah.
Um, like right now, the way I'm doing it now is like I have my goals and then I put strategies to the goals. But for the most part, I like to follow my intuition and allow it to guide me in the right direction. Because sometimes I can get overwhelmed and I overwhelm myself. Right?
Same.
I got
Same.
goals. I'm trying to reach things and I'm
I
trying to be
got what
fast with
to do.
it. So I'm learning to take things like one goal at a time or one step at a time, because it's so easy to be like doing, okay, now I'm done with this. Now I'm about to go do this. Okay, now I'm done with this. Now I'm about to do this. And it can be so much and you get nothing done. So
Nothing.
being intentional with the work that I do, right? Being just intentional with everything, just like making sure that even if it's um what's the word? Like, even if I have to be really specific and really get down to the details, because it can be tedious, right?
Mhm.
I'll sit there and I'll take the time to do what it is that I have to do. Like, for example, I'm working on like my Shopify store right now.
Mhm.
We're revamping the website, and it's a lot of little small detailed things that I got to do, and it's just like, ugh, I really don't want to do this. I just want to put the picture up as it is and just put the website up and just boom. But I know that taking time to get it right and making sure that the details are there, I'm gonna appreciate it in the long run, and our customers are gonna appreciate it too. So it may take a while, but the thing I'm learning is that you gotta have patience, because if I get there quick, then I'm gonna always be trying to get there quickly. But if I get there in a more effective way, then everything else that I'm gonna do is gonna be effective and impactful. So therefore, I don't have to be rushing or doing so much, because now everything that I do has intentionality to it. It's
Mhm.
detailed and it's just like automatically oriented, um, specifically to what it is that I'm trying to achieve.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But let me ask you this though. Do you need people? Do you feel like you need people to like push you, or do you find it like encouraging or discouraging when people are like, yo, Alicia, you said you was gonna do this. What's up? What's going on? You know, we gotta go. Like, do you like having that, or have you ever had somebody like that in your life to do that? Nah.
Not really. I didn't mean to make that like constipated sound, but let's try to think. I When it comes to my, not really. I'm one of those people. I've always been since I was a kid. Like if I say that's what I'm gonna do, then that's what I'm gonna do. My process looks like my process. Um, and I just
Mm,
do it how I do it, however it comes. I'm just one of those people. Like if I say that's what I want to do, that means I want to do it, and I'm going to put intention behind it, and I'm gonna get it done however I see fit to get it done with the abilities that I have. Um,
mm,
and I don't have, I mean, I have people right now who support me, but no one's like, you said your website was going to be done by this day, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't have any of that. I also
okay.
watch a lot of like videos and things. Like I told you, I've been watching a lot of Gary Vee, and he's like, fucking
Hmm.
get up and go do something. I'm like, you're right, Gary Vee. I'm going to go draw something. Like, so when I don't have that motivation, I kind of go and find it, or I don't know. I'm actually having so much fun that I don't even think it matters right now. In the zone that I'm in right now, like I can't wait. Like
Hmm.
I love having these conversations. Absolutely adore you. Super grateful to be here. I cannot wait to get off of here so I can get back to doing what I was doing.
Yeah, facts.
So
Facts.
like that's the space I'm in. Not always in that space, right? So when I'm not, it's okay, why are you doing this?
Mm,
What could you be doing with this time? I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. Like I've kind of cut out the extra things that keep me distracted from doing what I really, really want to do.
mm,
So I've been very persistent with myself about what are you wanting to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Is this right here helping you do that, or we just need a second, or what? And giving myself grace when I'm like, yo, I've
mm,
actually been doing a lot. I'm gonna take a second for myself. I'm gonna do XYZ so I can feel taken care of, and then I get right back to it. So that's where
mm.
I'm at. What about you? Because I know you do a lot, and I know with me it gets. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
darn, it's a lot. So I know for you, it's
Yeah.
you have those moments.
Nah, for sure I
You
do.
have people like that that will,
I've had people like that
yeah.
before in my life. It's like accountability partners, but like on 10.
Hmm.
And that kind of like that's why I like sometimes I'm a little extra with things because
Hmm.
I've had that before where I would move at a snail's pace and it was like, hey, look, hey, we got to get up, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to make it happen. So I kind of developed this like this sense of urgency to where it's like, okay, I need to get this done, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I've had like coaches and mentors in my life to help me navigate what I'm already doing,
Hmm.
and I've had accountability partners to push me out of my comfort zone and doing things that I don't want to do, but I know that I need to push the envelope to move the needle forward.
Hmm.
Um, but lately it's kind of been like all of that just kind of is coming together, and now I just put myself in those situations now to
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, I know how to balance the two. Like I know when I'm just like, I can take an hour and just be intentionally and focused on whatever it is that I'm doing and do that and not get distracted
Right.
much.
Yeah.
Be
Right.
honest. Not much.
Right.
Sometimes I drift off and I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to this. But for the most part, yeah, I do like 45 minutes of work and then I do a 15-minute break
Oh,
and
nice.
I'll do that for like an hour. And that's what's really helped me. I got a coach now. I got a couple coaches, but I got a coach now that's helped me to build my course. He's
Hmm.
helping me to like get my course and everything in order. And with the whole other business that I do with life insurance, I got coaches in that too.
Hmm.
So there's no short measure of people that I have in my life to keep me accountable.
Right.
Um, but I think that's important. I think that's really important to have people just have a coach or something because when people are looking at you, most of the times they're wondering, well, who coached you or where did you get
Right.
your information from? You
Hmm.
know, have you
Ooh.
ever had a coach or mentor?
Um, coach or mentor? Let me think. No, not in like a formal sense, but I do feel like I've had people in my life where, like, along my spiritual journey, like I've had people where kind of like we mentor each other, like a peer type support type of way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but never like a, oh, this is my mentor, this is my coach. Other than sports, by the
But
way.
yeah.
But I don't even remember who said it, but during this process, like during this journey, there are educators and then there are experiencers. And
Mm,
I feel like that is super important to learn or to understand, because there are some people who have that knowledge because they went out and seeked that knowledge for
mm,
themselves to learn and grow, and then they give it out to everybody else. And then there are some people who experience, and that is how they learn, and that's how they get the knowledge, and then they go out and share it. And then obviously there's people who have both, and I feel like you're kind of one of those people who have both. I'm definitely an experiencer, for
mm,
sure, but I feel like you're one of those people that kind of like you shift between the two of, this is what I've learned, this is what I've went out and learned. And while I go out and learn things, I'm not too, you know me, I'm not too with the specifics. Like, I don't need all
yeah.
the fancy wording and mumbo jumbo. Like, this is what it is. It's that simple for me. But
Facts.
I think you have a good balance of being an educator and experiencer and bringing those two together. And I think that's what makes this a really good conversation every time we get together. Because it kind
Mm-hmm.
of balance it out. Because I'm like chaos over here, and you're like, okay, well, let's talk about this thing.
Yeah. Let's bring it back over here. Let's bring it back
Yeah,
here.
okay, Alicia, back over here, please. Please.
uh,
Stay on
you
track.
need that though.
Yeah, for
Facts.
sure.
But you do need that. I mean, honestly, because it's fun sometimes when you go off the unbeaten path. You
Yep.
know, it's so much fun because you just never know what to expect.
Hmm.
Like honestly, I did something different. Like I had my notes here, but that was just like I like where this conversation is going. Let's just see where it goes.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need any talking points. I mean, everything that we've done. Oh,
I know.
oh,
See
we
how that
trade
reverse?
places.
We're always mirroring each other. I told you. I told you.
That's wild.
That's really funny.
So wait, you oh you've been on point today then. You've been
Um,
on point today.
for the
Kinda.
most part, I kind of only brought up like two or three of the things on here.
Mm.
But yeah, I was like, he's gonna be so proud of me.
I know. I really am. I'm so proud. It worked.
That is funny.
Oh man, that is awesome. That's crazy. Cause I was like, yo, I'm ready. I'm about to have these talking points. And then as we talked, I was just like, okay, well, let's see where this is going. Cause I
Freestyle.
didn't know where
Yeah.
I didn't know where it was gonna go.
And like I had my notes, but I didn't go off of. It was kind of like whatever the conversation was. I was like, oh, I wrote something down about this. I didn't
Mm,
like bring it to the conversation. I let the conversation go to what I had already written down. So
mm,
that's really interesting. I
that's dope.
I can be a knowledge seeker type person. I have knowledge. I have knowledge. I just don't emphasize on it like other people do, because I just don't. I'm an experiencer. I think life is the greatest teacher that there is.
Mm,
I can give you all the fancy words and the definitions of things all I want, but you're only really gonna learn through your experiences. You can
nah,
hear the
fact,
words and all of that, but it's not the same as actually experiencing the things that bring those lessons to you, where it clicks, where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what
facts, facts.
that makes sense. That's where
Nah,
I'm
that,
at. So I have a deep respect for people who have the go and seek the knowledge for themselves, but I can't.
you know what though? I'll be honest. I'm really just getting to that point now where I'm like
Mm-mm.
I'm seeking knowledge. Like
Hmm.
I've always had wisdom, but now I'm
Right.
at this stage where it's like, okay, I want knowledge.
Yeah.
And I liked school, but I didn't because I didn't
Right.
like what I was being taught because it was like it didn't pertain to me, so I didn't
Yeah.
care. But it was like when I got to college, I still didn't care.
Totally.
But
Totally.
when I actually like just took it upon myself to just learn the thing that I wanted to learn, like I'll just go and read the book myself and
Hmm.
go find some online questionnaires and just do it like that.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, this is what I really wanted to do. So I kind of put myself in that mode of like, well, I want to learn, and this is what I want to learn, and I want to apply what I learn
Mm-hmm.
and be able to teach it, because that's the best way you learn. For me, if
Yeah.
you can't teach it, then you haven't really learned the lesson.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's the kind of philosophy that I took. What did you want to talk about? Any of your points? Any of the points you got?
Hmm.
Since we're here now.
We kind of already talked about them. We kind of already talked about this, but blessings are always there. You just forget to acknowledge them. I think
Mm,
we already talked about, we get so caught up in life and what we got going on that we forget to acknowledge other people and acknowledge that, hey, I'm blessed at the beginning of the day, I'm blessed in the middle of the day, and I'm still blessed at the end of the day. And we
mm,
forget that because we get so caught up in the tides of life and getting swept and pushed around that we're like, ah, this is too much. It's so much going on. This is a really hard day. It was a hard moment. You carried it throughout the day. You're still blessed, but
mm,
to each his own. We just forget, and I feel like that's a really important point. Other than that, we pretty much talked about the rest of it, emotions,
mm,
reactions, and things. So yeah,
mm. I like that. I like that.
I'm so proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Thanks.
Dang. Honestly, what I was gonna talk about, because really I've been learning about learning.
Yeah, you said
Uh,
that.
yeah, that's really been my biggest thing. And the two things that I've been focusing on mostly is like learning the different types of intelligence types
Hmm.
and learning how learning works, because I feel like those are the two things that can really make the biggest difference in how you tackle life. Because
Yeah.
school doesn't really show you how to utilize your skills. It only gives you like, okay, this is the standard. This is the standard you got to go by. If you can't go by the standard, you're a failure.
Right.
So it's
Like, give
crazy.
me a chance.
Right? That's not how I learn. Like
Right.
I can't just sit in one place and learn. I need to, let's go outside. Let's take the classroom outside.
I'm a
You
visual
know?
learner. I can't do this piece of paper, please.
Right. You know what I think? I think I'm an aesthetic learner.
What does that mean?
I feel like the environment has to be a certain way in order for me to absorb the information. Like I had this idea of like, what if classrooms were done outside,
Hmm.
and the desks, like their desks were there, but everybody had to like take their shoes off and just ground while the lesson is being taught. You know what I mean? And there's like fruit and water and like different things. I just feel like an environment like that would really make me want to learn more.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Like,
that.
dang. And you start the class off with like meditation and affirmations, and then you get into the lesson. That to me, if it was like that, oh man, I'd be a fucking genius. I mean, I am a genius, but
Right.
I'd be even more of a genius.
I do
But
even better.
for real. But that's really it. Um, just talking about different learning. There's a lot of notes. Okay, anyways, just a lot of notes. Dang, oh, wait, okay. Um, okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that's dope. I really like that saying you had. One last thing before we get off. Um, I was listening to something the other day and it made me think, right?
Yeah.
It made me think about something.
Love that for you.
Yeah, yeah. um, what when people say your name or when people see you, what do they know you for, or what do you want people to know you for?
Nah. I think people know me as like, I'm like funny and kind. Like, I'm just a big fucking goofball. Like, I'm literally like a child. I tell people all the time, I don't know how I got this far. Uh, I don't take anything serious. Um, but somehow I'm out here making it. So, but yeah, I think most people would say, like, people who know me are like, I'm just I'm kind and I'm funny, and I'm
Hmm.
very much just like, I'm me. Like, I'm not trying to be anything else. I don't have a There's no facade. There's no lies. Like, I'm raw, honest. You take me as I am, or you don't at all. Like, that's cool either way. So
Right.
what
So
about
it's safe to say that you're kind of funny.
no, I'm very funny. Wasn't a good joke.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
Especially because it wasn't true. I'm very funny.
You're hilarious.
I agree.
To disagree. Uh,
You be your own people.
oh
That's
gosh,
hilarious.
that's funny. For me, I'm known as being kind. Honestly, like
Yeah.
people know me for positive inspiration, being positive and inspiring, and just always looking to help people and really
Mm-hmm.
motivating and helping people. Like that's what I've always been known for.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to see how it translates to business, right? Because
Yeah.
if I'm on like these platforms and I got a business and stuff like that, my thinking is like, okay, what do people know me for? Like, how do people perceive who I am? Because, as you grow and get more quote unquote successful, whatever that means,
Ooh.
um, people are going to look at you how they look at you based on whatever energy that you're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked you, and I always ask myself this question is like, okay, what do people know me for? Because I do a lot of things. I do a
Mm-hmm.
facet of things. And different people know me for different things.
Right.
But as a whole, what do people know me for?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's it right there. People know me for just being a positive, motivating force within their lives.
Meow.
Yeah. Shout outs to Aaliyah. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Wow. I was trying to get to 100. But we've been almost 2 hours
It's
in now.
going, I know. Hour and a half. A little over hour and a half.
97. Yeah, hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. It was overdue. We needed an hour and a half. When we've been doing really good with doing an hour. We were
No,
doing.
facts. Facts. Like honestly, I don't even care about the time though. I just be like, if the conversation's good, then just let that
Oh,
thing flow, bro.
for sure. Sometimes I just be having stuff to do afterwards. So I'm like, we have to stick to an hour. Other than that,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
what else are we gonna talk about?
I think that's wow, that's nothing else comes to mind at the moment.
Yeah.
Um your background has been very relaxing this entire time, I will say.
Good. The remote wasn't working at first. I was like almost distraught. And I was like, please, I just need something in the background for noise, something. It wasn't working. So this is what I found.
Mm.
Booted
Yeah, it works.
music. So thanks.
Of course, no, thank you.
Oh,
And thank the viewers for being on this journey with us. And thank you for allowing us to be on this journey with you. And I truly believe we do better when we grow together. So let's continue to grow one another. And if you found this helpful, inspiring, or motivating in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified whenever we go live or publish a video ever. And yeah. Oh, so announcements. I have a course coming up soon. This time next month, maybe even sooner. I'll say the beginning of the month. The course will be out. So all you have to do is use the link in the description. And you can go and enroll. It's only $33. So go and check that out. It's really awesome. I put a lot of work into it, and I hope that it's everything that you need to help cultivate a better mindset for you and to get you started on your self development journey. What else I got going on? Oh, check out the new website too. I got an e-commerce store. Check out the website bodyblazefitness.com. We do fitness equipment and accessories. It's really awesome.
oh, nice.
Bodyblazefitness.com. So you can go check that out. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, Um, yeah, tune in every Saturday. Every Saturday at 3:33 your time and 4:33
Central. Yeah.
Central Time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Central Time. And 4:33 Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, you know, we're Paulizè Lisha and we're in the present. So
Yes, so grateful to be here. Thank you for being in this present moment with us. Even though we're not called the present moment, I just still appreciate you being here in this moment with us. Yeah, so my store is finally up. EmpathyEmpire.com. The E's are threes, so it's three empathy, three empire, three. But yeah, you just
we'll put
replace
it down here.
degrees, and yeah, we'll put it in the description. It's got some merch on there. I'm working on getting my more of my poetry up because I want it to be not just about merch, but really creating a space for people to get um, questions answered or just get some motivation in their own life to really cultivate that self empathy and self love so that people can go inward, find their light, and then shine it into the experience that we're all sharing. And I'm
Hmm.
so grateful to be here. Check it out, and I'll keep updating it all throughout the week. So I'm putting more and more merch up every day. I'm like, oh, I got a new shirt idea, like new idea here and there. Like I'm having so much fun, and even if people just check it out, I'm super duper grateful. So until next time, this is Lolisha signing out.
Alicia and Paulizè. And until next time, peace and namaste.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, what?
I'm gonna call you after this too, because I
Okay.
got somebody.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Peace.